speaker about business for reunions, convention visitors bureaus, and reunion planning workshops and conventions. She's actually appeared on dozens of TV and radio shows all over the country, such as The Today Show, Later Today, CBS Morning, Good Morning America, and of course with the CVB of Lake County. So we feel very honored to welcome Edith to share her wonderful knowledge with all of us this morning. So please give her a welcome.
I was set up.
I thought you were going to stand up there.
Oh.
You better not go.
Okay. Well, Kim has told you a little bit about me, and I think probably the reunions part is the most important part of my life now. It certainly consumes most of my life, there's no doubt about that. But before I start, what I'd like to do is just get sort of an idea of who some of you are. And I'm going to just ask you some reunion questions. Because among other things, I see a number of people here, whom I talked with last night, who were at the same workshop last year and have become recruiters for this workshop, which I find charming. It certainly says something for this weekend that you're going to spend here. If there were people here a year ago and they're back again, actually, it's 11 months, it's not a year ago. How many of you have never, ever had a family reunion before and you're planning your very first one? Okay. That's frequently what I find in these workshops, and unfortunately, the way this starts out, and I will go through it very, very quickly, this presentation starts as though you were planning your very first reunion. So for most of you, it's just going to be a little bit of a review, pardon me. But among you, there are certainly people who have been to reunions, only this is your first time planning your family reunion. Who are you? How many of you? Okay, so you have a tradition to build this project on. Very good. Don't be scared. It always does. How many of you have planned one reunion before? Okay. How many of you have planned more than one? Okay, good. So the ones who have planned reunions before, or more than one reunion, certainly could easily be up here doing exactly what I'm doing from your point of view. And I'm hoping you'll relate to a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about. You don't really have to take a lot of notes because the timetable that I'm working off of for the first part of this presentation is on our website, reunionsmag.com. It's in a section called When to have your reunion, and there are a whole lot of other things there, but there is a timetable. And what we've done recently with our timetable is we've annotated it to parts of our website so that you know when you look at the timetable whether we have lots more copy about the subject, or there are quite a few podcasts on our website now too. And we're doing podcasts specifically about sections on the timetable. The second part, after you visit with the exhibitors, the second part of my presentation is going to be a part that, for those of you who were here last year, sort of got cut off. And it seems generally for groups like this to be the part that everybody is much more interested in. And that includes activities at your reunion, fundraising ideas, and some of the sort of technical things that have very little to do with the timetable, except that you have to do them as you go along. Okay, now assuming, where's Anthony? Oh, sorry. I just have to know where he is, because if something goes wrong, he has to tables and get up here and help me. Okay. I am a firm believer in the fact that reunions are a family ritual. And for those of you who are doing the reunions, this is probably one of the best gifts you will ever give to your family. And the reason I say that is because there's going to be a lot of work. Every now and again, a couple of headaches. And see how people agree with me? And a lot of people say, well, no one's thanking me for all the work I'm doing. I think what you find is that it's after the reunion when people actually begin to realize, though they will never ever know how much you put into this, but once they begin to realize that you have put a lot of work and effort and love and consideration into a reunion, they will thank you. They will appreciate it. Not necessarily in the ways that you want them to, but nevertheless, they will. But it can, and to be in all honesty, it can be a thankless task at times. And that's some of the stuff we'll talk about in the second section, like how to get people to respond. Okay. I skipped that one pretty quickly. Reunions do strengthen families, in part because it's an opportunity for your family to come together. It's an opportunity for your children to meet their cousins, to meet their aunts and uncles, and to really get a sense of who the family is. When we do surveys, the single most important reason that people have reunions is, and this is to stay connected, but people don't say to stay connected, they say for the children to stay connected. And it is, for many families, it is the opportunity for the children to get together, where they don't have the opportunity at other times. I think we forget that, we say, for example, oh, everyone gets together at Thanksgiving, or everyone gets together at Christmas. But once kids start getting married, they have another family to consider, and oftentimes the holiday doesn't have everyone there. The reunion can be the holiday. And the t-shirt that I had on last night for the Seidemann reunion, the woman who's in charge of that reunion, when a new person comes into the family, a dating situation or a marriage, she sits them down and says, okay, now there's something really important about this family. Christmas and Thanksgiving, you can go to your parents. But the third weekend of July, under no circumstances will you be any place but right here. And this is a reunion that draws between 400 and 600 people a year. Who heard me say 4,600? No. It's a very large reunion, and people come from all over the country, and it's very interesting for all of them.